Welcome back to the Terrible Warriors. I am your player in this game of Mouse Guard. I'm not running the game. Will's running the game. Hi, Will.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Will Mitchell, your GM for today.
GM for today. We last left off. There was some turtle hijinks. People are in trouble. We're being separated. The plan is going according to plan.
Kind of.
Up until we all die.
Until we all die. Death by snapping turtle on the second episode of Mouse Guard. I am surrounded here at this virtual table of ours by our very brave and noble guards of the mice, live from Edmonton.
Derek the Bard from Chasing the Muse.
And who are you playing, Derek?
Sloan the rookie.
Yeah, you're
the rookie.
You're like our cadet.
Raw.
This is trial by fire if I've ever heard one. and on the other side of the ranked spectrum, we have our fearless leader.
I'm Tom. He is an evil genius white, playing Tom, the mouse.
Who's not so much an evil genius mouse, but just comes up with the crazy harebrained schemes to distract a giant monster turtle. And joining me in our search and rescue mission down underneath the now destroyed brewery pub, I have from our Patreon rewards program connecting in.
Noir the cat mouse.
Playing Noir the cat, correct? You're also playing Noir.
Yep.
Yeah, your character's also named Noir. And I
did say cat mouse.
I'm so confused.
and I'm we suspect that Noir is like a war vet from the Winter War against the Weasels and came back a little unstable after that and thinks he's also a cat now. And
had a close encounter with a bobcat, and it really changed him.
It really changed him. Mom, he saw as the bobcat came barreling in on him.
Why mice talk to Mutork like that?
Oh God!
He am not mousy mother.
Oh
he
God!
Am kitty.
Mutork as like a giant Titan villain in Mouse Guard.
Not a villain. He's well intentioned. He just happens to sit on things.
To mice, he's a villain.
And I'm just Ecock playing Ocean, the red furred monster slayer with an axe, who's out doing the healing today, rescuing these people. Will, where did we last left off? I think there were buildings collapsing on me.
Indeed, there was.
Oh, God.
When we last left things off, the plan to distract this turtle in the marketplace of Grasslake so that Sloan could sneak in and start to smoke it out using the ovens in the brewery went off with fantastic success. A little bit too much success, in fact. Tom shot it in the eye with an arrow, which really pissed it off.
Great. Well, now if you run really fast, it'll just chase you out of town. Right?
True. I don't know if I'm that fast, though.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of town that wouldn't be around anymore. It ripped apart the brewery and is now giving chase. And that shift of its weight collapsed the tunnel that our intrepid mouse rescuers down in the pub that was underneath this thing's belly as it had smashed its way into town.
Come on.
That tunnel is now
the
collapsed.
rescuers were mice.
I know, right? It's a great little pun. Now they are trapped in that basement with 3 weary survivors, and this turtle is chasing. But Sloan had a plan. So, Sloan, you've just snuck into the back of Honeywind's bakery.
Yes.
The building is pretty damaged. It's sort of leaning to a side, but you can see through the sort of smashed windows the turtle is starting to haul its carcass to the other side of town.
And the ovens are still working, though, right?
Well, the ovens are still burning. The chimneys are still intact, but you can see there's quite a few cracks. There's sort of 3 big ovens along one side of the building, and they're kind of built into the building, and they're not as sturdy as they used to be. Let's put it that way.
Sloan is going to start loading the ovens with just bags of flour.
Nice. They'll burn, but make a lot of smoke.
Right, and if it's not diffused, it won't explode.
Exactly.
Because we don't want a fuel air explosion.
Boy, I'm glad we sent a sous chef onto this mission.
Yep.
I have the traits Cunning and Steady Paw and Graceful. Would any of those help, and what the fuck do they do?
In this game, traits are basically little descriptor statements. And for people familiar with the Fate games, I like to say that they're kind of like aspects. They can help you and they can hurt you. When they help you, they basically get to add a dice to whatever you're rolling. And they apply to whatever that descriptor should be able to help with. So if it's nerve-wracking to toss giant bags of flour that could indeed explode into a soon-to-be raging damaged oven, then yeah, having steady hands might help you stay calm.
Fantastic. What's the benefit I get from that?
Like I said, you get to add a dice to whatever skill it is you're going to be using.
And if I'm going to spend a Fate or Persona point, do I spend it now or after?
This I never remember because I'm pretty new to the system as well. Fates get spent afterwards because they allow you to re-roll d6s. Persona points can be spent beforehand. In fact, have to be spent beforehand.
Because they add the die to the roll pool.
Now, do I need to use that just to tap my nature, or is that just the benefit I get from spending Persona?
You can use nature in place of a skill whenever you want. If it's something that is sort of intrinsic to being a mouse.
Climbing, hiding, and foraging.
Exactly. Then you can do it without any sort of penalty. If it isn't normal mouse activity, then you can do it. But if you fail, your nature score is going to take a hit and get sort of taxed or reduced temporarily.
Okay.
You can roll something with nature and then spend a Persona point and add your nature stat to it. You sort of double tap your nature. It's a powerful maneuver, but you can't do it too often.
Okay, so I'm rolling what? Smith?
Yeah, looking at this.
I have Smith and Glazier, so they both involve working with ovens.
They do both working with ovens, but Glaziers use ovens more than Smiths do, I think. Smiths
they're
tend to
both
use more
the same
open
rating,
stuff.
so...
Yeah. So yeah, roll your Glazier. You get to add a dice from your steady paws.
And
you know what? I'm also gonna let you add a dice because you have bags of flour that are there and neatly organized. You have the right stuff. So here, that's
4 dice.
Really good for the task. Now, how tough is this? You're really kind of just fighting time. I'm gonna make this obstacle 3.
So I need 3 successes.
3 successes.
I'm gonna spend the Persona point.
All right. So that you have a nature of 6. Oof. So you get to add 6 dice to that.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Did you need it?
I got 5 successes.
Nice. Now, because that wasn't a mouse nature, I would have taxed you if you failed, but you succeeded quite handily. And so... yeah, you're good to rock. You start hucking in those big, heavy flour bags, and you're like a fairly slight, graceful mouse, but you're a mouse guard. You're strong. And so yeah, you manage to toss those in, and it seems to be working. You're producing a huge amount of sort of cloying gray smoke. But you can see here and there, it's sort of what's that?
Is it also filling up the building so I can just break the windows so it spills out into the street more?
Well, the building was damaged already, right?
Yeah, the building is already damaged, and I was just in the process of describing how it is starting to leak out of the chimney on some of the cracks, and it is sort of filling up parts of the building. So yeah, you could sort of make sure that all the shutters are cranked open on the places that they were closed.
Yep.
All right. So you're going to head upstairs and start doing that. Meanwhile, there is a snapping turtle chasing your intrepid leader, Tom. Now, you dove for cover. But then the snapping turtle basically smashed everything in your local vicinity. So I think a scout check to find a good place to hide is probably a wise idea.
Okay, well, I'm guessing the bakery is not within running distance because underneath the smoke is probably the safest place right now. But
almost certainly. But that is clear on the other side of the turtle.
Yeah. So there are no tunnels that I can hide under, or
there are. It's a matter of can you get to them in time, right?
Okay, so I'm rolling scout then.
Yes, please.
Okay, I only have 2 dice in scout.
Could he also use nature for escaping?
This is definitely escaping. You could tap your nature.
Yes. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So, how does tapping work? I just roll that instead of scout.
You'd replace scout with nature.
Okay.
Run away! Run away!
I might want to spend a persona point to add a die then.
Well, if you spend a persona point to add nature to the roll, you'd be adding another 4 dice.
Oh, but I'm already using nature.
You can add nature to nature.
Oh, okay. Then I'll do that then.
Yes, you're gonna want to do that because I'm rolling a lot of d6s against you here.
Oh no. Okay.
Because it's the turtle you gotta beat.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, I got. Oh wow.
Huh.
Okay, I got 7 successes.
That's really funny. I got 1 success.
Oh!
This turtle sucks.
I got 2 6s, 4 5s, and a 4. My lowest was a 3 out of those 8 dice.
That's incredible. So yeah, Tom,
I've never rolled this well in my life.
it's excellent. So Tom, you'll have no problem finding a place. What sort of hidey hole do you think you're going to bolt into? You said you're looking for tunnels, maybe like you duck down a cellar door, maybe?
Yeah, like a tunnel, a building that is not easily knocked over if such a thing exists, a hole in a tree, whatever.
You know what? You succeeded pretty incredibly. I'm going to let you have all of that. There's a small sort of like stone, like a nice house. Obviously, this is a well-to-do mouse. It's made out of some stones in sort of like a little crook of a tree root, so it's under that. And there's a cellar door that's street accessible that you dive through. So you're now in a cellar of a stone building under a tree root, as safe as you can get, considering.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so you've ducked away. We'll take a smash cut now to the people in the pub basement. You hear like all sorts of rumbling and groaning. The tunnel collapses. You are now trapped in the dark with these guys.
Crap. Okay, so what is the tunnel that the Scrabbler was digging away at, where they believe the other two are trapped on the other side? I mean, how thoroughly collapsed is that tunnel?
It looks like it's mostly soil that has collapsed into it. You're not seeing like any like big beams or anything that seem to be in the way. It's like stones and pebbles and sand.
Like, I know my instinct is to heft my axe, but I do have a thoughtful trait, so I'm, like, immediately looking around going, like, what is even possible? Like, can we dig through that? Is that even diggable? Or are we more likely to take whatever stuff is in this pub, make a homemade explosive, and try and blow a hole open? I don't know what our...
Both of those are entirely possible. Mice are pretty good diggers, so you can probably dig out. It just might take too long.
Yeah.
And you probably could find some volatile spirits that Harold had sold to these guys and rig up some sort of bang to loosen something.
Because are we in a basement or are we up on the ground level of this collapsed building?
You're in the basement.
Yeah. So when
there's also the possibility you could find your way to see like if there's anything left of the upper stories.
If anything collapsed in, yeah, there's no like opening that's now come in from the outside or up to the other floors. Because, I mean, yeah, it means going out onto ground level right in front of the turtle, but it also means we're not going to be buried alive.
Yeah, you also get the impression that the turtle has moved.
So this might be
you don't know where, but he's moved.
While it's distracted, we might be able to escape just at street level.
So I'm hearing 3 courses of action. Which one do you want to do? Dig your way out, blow your way out, or sneak out through the top?
Using something to explode something might cause more stuff to collapse on us.
More,
almost certainly.
Yeah, and
you don't want to burn
attention.
up what oxygen you have in there.
And we also don't want
to know how sealed you are.
And a large explosion might get the turtle's attention. So, all right, let's get. I mean, Scrabbler looked like a real go-getter with the digging, so let's put him digging in the right direction. And we're gonna try and start digging up and out to the main floor, to the street, and sneak back to the crowd, and then. If I have an opportunity to get them to partway safety and then go back to the wharf to find the other two, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, that seems like a solid plan. Tom, So if you'd kindly, you guys are digging your way up. That sounds to me like a laborer check, just a friggin' haul stuff. If you don't have that, I'd let you roll it with your health.
I've got a great health. I'm happy to roll with that.
And I will help.
All right, so you guys are gonna put your backs into it.
And
I think your
how many?
helping's pretty
Fate and
straightforward.
Persona. How many of these do I have to start with? I don't think I make a mark.
Each you're gonna have one.
One each. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to tap my nature because we're trying to escape from this basement to help move things along here.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So we go with 10 her, and its successes for.
How many successes?
No, just making sure I'm typing in this
Okay,
formula
so I was gonna
right.
say, I haven't set the obstacle yet. Well, I was going to say 3, so congratulations.
I rolled 4 successes.
With your 4 successes, yeah. You guys get to the sort of the smashed staircase that would have led down here. And there's a bunch of rubble on top of it. And you clear a bunch of it away, and you find a door. What would have been actually like the back door to the building. And together, because you guys are helping each other, you manage to sort of open the door and like push up. And as you do, you can hear rubble falling off of it. Basically, the sort of side entrance to the building had been knocked flat onto the basement entrance and then had stuff piled on it.
Oh, no.
But you guys work together and push it all off, and you now are able to make your way out of there.
I picture myself using my axe to like cut through like brush, but it's debris and rubble. Okay, cool. So we're outside.
Yeah, you guys are outside. You can see off to your right-hand side, you can see sort of the backside of the turtle. You're like along the turtle's right-hand side, and you can see its back leg sort of more or less right in front of you.
Okay, we're going to go in the other direction.
What's that?
We're going in the other direction with the survivors.
Could I use
You're gonna run
scouting
towards its head?
to...
No, sorry. We're going away from the turtle. Whichever direction the turtle is not the
whatever
direction
the turtle is, you're going away.
We're going down the other street.
Could I use scouting to try and, help myself and others, sneak away without this thing noticing?
You absolutely can.
Perfect.
And I think that's a good time to do that. Please make a roll so that this turtle does not notice you.
Let's see. Seeing if there's anything that might be applicable.
What is the Pathfinder skill used for?
Pathfinder skill is used more for like navigation on a larger scale, following maps.
When we're out in
trailblazing and stuff.
Got it.
I'm thinking I might want to tap my nature for this, because that thing is right there.
It's true. Now keep in mind, you don't have a lot like Persona points are generally generated between game sessions, and this is still kind of a one-shot. Yeah. And you haven't actually faced the turtle much.
No.
So it's a good idea to hold on to that big bang if you need it. But that said, if you want to do it now, that'll prevent you from facing the turtle right away.
Let's see. I've also got those traits, if I'm allowed to apply those a second time.
Yeah, they can sort of help you once per scene. Which one do you want to... What do you think's going to help you? I think being graceful would probably help quite a lot.
I've got alert.
Oh, sorry, alert. Yeah, wrong character sheet.
I've also got natural bearings, which might help to, not, like, knock anything over.
Yeah, well, and also, like, you're relatively familiar with this town, so, like, you know at least a few of the streets and things and alleys and which ways to head.
Yeah, I mean, we've just come up from underground, so this is going to help you out, not being, like, turned around. You immediately know which way's north when we get outside.
Absolutely. So, yeah, you can add a dice for natural bearings.
Okay, so that brings me
you are
to...
going against the turtle.
Would Justin be able to help out with this at all?
I'm kind of looking after our survivors, making sure they're okay, but I can help out. What could I add in to assist?
You have a relevant skill or a wise or a...
I mean, axe-wise, transport-wise, I am carrying
Transport-wise. You are transporting victims of this horrible turtle.
All right, cool. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm making it so that these 3 are not a distraction to you, Noir. I'm looking after them, making sure they're keeping quiet and looking after the injured one, the one with the concussion. And so with that, you don't have to worry about them. You can just focus on your task, which would be an assist.
Yeah, you gain an extra dice.
Horrible
Okay, that
turtle
brings
sounds
me to
like a
6.
Power Rangers monster.
It is. We're like the Marines in that Godzilla movie where we're hiding in the trenches trying not to get its attention.
Wow. This
Okay.
dice roller hates this turtle. Please roll your
I've
there, Noir.
got 2 4s, 2 5s, and a 6.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah, the turtle does not even know that you exist. It is solely focused on finding where Tom went, and he's pretty hidden too. And so it's beginning to tear up that side of town, but it does not even know that you're there. Let's pop back to Sloan and Tom. So Sloan, you just made a huge amount of smoke. It's starting to billow out of the bakery behind the turtle. You've opened up as many sort of ports on the bakery as you can. The fires are burning really hot. What are you going to do? Derek, you're Sloan.
Oh,
God.
It's all right. We're all sleepy.
Yeah, no, it's the I don't know. The name isn't clicking for some reason.
Okay, you've only had that name for an hour.
The smoke is filling up. It's not even working though because the turtle's chasing Tom.
Well, it's currently going away from the smoke. Yes, but the smoke is billowing out. If you can figure out a way to get this turtle back into it, it may not like it there.
What are turtles? What's their sense of sound like?
They can hear. It's not remarkable in any way.
Trying to think if there's a way to lure it back.
Squeak.
Sound as delicious as you can.
I will sound as
Make a
delicious
sizzle
as I
sound.
can.
I mean, this could be a manipulator roll to try and
I've got
sort of
deceiver.
So that trait would certainly help you.
No, I have the skill deceiver.
Oh, what?
What?
It's a skill.
Yeah, it's one of the
What?
3 social ones: Orator, Deceiver, and Persuader.
So you
yeah.
do.
Wow. It was right in front of me and I didn't see it.
No, that's really weird. That is a leftover from first edition, I think. These are second edition sheets. Bizarre. Or maybe I just missed that. Either way, you've got Deceiver. You should be rolling Deceiver.
Cool. Can I use my my cunning trait there?
100% you can add cunning to
Great.
that.
That's 4 dice. And yeah, Sloan is going to try and sound like a vulnerable building full of vulnerable mice.
Yeah. The old cry of the mouse orphans. Classic move.
Yes.
Can I ask if the turtle has passed by me yet?
He hasn't actually quite got to you yet.
Okay. So
Tom,
it's not safe for me
die?
to run back to the bakery yet.
We're going to see what Sloan's business here does.
Okay.
You're going against the turtle.
Oh dear.
Now the turtle rolled well. How'd you do?
1.
Wow.
Yikes.
One success, or you rolled a 1?
1 success.
Okay.
Okay. So you start shrieking in as many different sort of falsetto mouse voices as you care to put on.
Someone
and-
save me!
Yeah. Oh, lordy, the vapors. The turtle's kind of getting fed up of looking for this mouse that disappeared. It's much more interested in mice that it thinks it can find. And so it starts to haul itself around in the other direction, and it peers up sort of over its shell with its sort of big long neck. Where were you doing this? Where did you position yourself for this?
I'm
Derek?
in the top level of the bakery.
Top level of the bakery. Cool.
So that smoke is all in you right now.
It sounds like there's mice in there who are not having a good time. It's okay. You can throw a couple coughs in that.
Yeah.
So the turtle begins to sort of haul itself in your direction. And it's as it kind of gets the smoke sort of rolling over its shell, which looks pretty cool. You can see it's like it's blinking its eyes against the smoke. It doesn't enjoy it. And you're making these noises, and again, that surprisingly long neck comes out, and it snaps at the building.
Yep.
taking a huge chunk out of the building.
Yep.
And there's some load-bearing members in that, and it starts to shift, and you find yourself sort of on a floor that is now sliding down a significant distance to where this turtle's head is now sort of rooting around in this building as it's like blinking away the rubble and the smoke, and it's getting very unhappy at you.
I would like to try to, as I'm sliding onto it, because you said it's rooting around kind of underneath me.
You could slide onto it.
I would like to try and slide onto it and its shell.
Okay.
Nature.
Yes.
That sounds like climbing.
Yeah, sounds like climbing. I'll give it to
And
you.
running.
There's everything in this scenario is scary. That's probably the least scary option. So I'll
And
give
I'm
it to you.
going to use my graceful trait.
Yes, please.
That's 7 dice.
Okay. I'm rolling with the turtle.
Oh! How many successes do I need, Will?
Well,
Is it a bonus roll?
5? No, is it more? Holy shit, wait a minute. Is it more than 7 successes?
it is definitely not. You only needed a single success because this turtle must have found something it really liked. Down
I
in the
got
dirt.
3 6s, 3 4s, and a 5.
Wow.
Holy crap! Your dice are on fire today.
Only the one time.
I can't tell if you rolled better than me or not. Because
Pretty close. You're up there.
Yeah, that's really good.
All right, so you-
Every die
you-
succeeded.
You managed to sort of, as it's distracted, get onto its neck and then scurry your way up onto its shell. So
Great.
now at this point, you're pretty much everybody can see what's going on. Ocean and Noir, you have sort of ferried the other mice out of that basement, and in short order, you do find a way that they can sort of run to rejoin the crowd that's been backing up as the turtle is starting to freak out. You've got Sloan up on its back, which you can see now from pretty much any alley. Tom, you're pretty secure behind sort of the sturdy wall of that place, and it's stopped looking at you. You've seen it turn away, and you see Sloan crawl up on top of it. What's everybody want to do?
Well, I got to go back for them.
Yeah, you do.
We got to go back. And there's 2 more mouse in the wharf that I've said I'm going to go find. So
Also, your friend Sloan is doing something pretty suicidal, running around on the back of a snapping turtle.
I got the handle of it.
I mean,
You know,
in fairness, I'm pretty sure a snapping turtle can't reach its own shell with its head.
True,
That
but
was kind of my hope.
that only works if it stays still.
Is
Yeah.
it smooth shelled or like spiky shelled?
It's like kind of like almost like a fingernail sort of like texture where it is smooth, but there are striations that on a mouse scale mean kind of bumpy.
So something I can kind of get a grip on?
It's not impossible to stay up there, no.
Okay.
from where we are, going back
So-
to where the wharf is, do we need to go past this turtle again?
Well, it's now looking back. Basically, it was originally looking more or less towards the crowd, and then it had the bakery on sort of the turtle's right side, or pardon me, the brewery on the turtle's right side, the bakery on its left. It turned to its right and then gave up, and now it's looking to its left. It hasn't actually moved terribly far.
And now it's getting a face full of fire and smoke.
Yeah.
We probably should have moved that crowd in retrospect.
I did order them to move back, but we that's sort of Oswald and Mildred are looking after getting them further away.
Yeah, they have, the crowd has been backing up, but they're also still kind of like
this is their
very
homes.
interested in what happens to their lives.
Yeah, to their livelihood. They don't want to see this whole place get destroyed. Plus, I mean, Sloan, you look like you got a handle of this. I want to go off to the wharf and find those 2 missing mice. And our leader appears to either be dead or missing. So, I guess I don't. Noir, what are your thoughts?
Well, my belief is that we should go for the jugular.
Yes, it is.
How are we gonna go? I don't even think this thing has a jugular.
All things have a jugular. You just have to stab hard enough.
Now, you know from the size of this thing, you cannot kill it with your own bare paws. But with
Or
enough
with a spear.
With enough explosions.
I do have an idea.
Oh,
We're right next to a pub. Now,
Well, the
dousing it in
remains of a
fire
pub.
would be a bad idea, but one Molotov's cocktail probably ain't gonna set the whole city on fire.
It's pretty.
No,
this
but
place
it's
is
not
pretty
going
dry.
Not gonna
hurt the
do
turtle
much.
either.
Keep in mind, this we're mice. This turtle is like Gamera. It's huge.
True.
It's a kaiju.
On the
It's
other
a
hand, if we
giant
could
monster.
fill one of these barrels with poison. Oh wait, no, that's not you. That's Sloan is in the poison thing.
Yep.
And even
Okay,
then, you need
so-
to find the poison, manufacture it.
I'm a little
eat
busy
it. We
right
don't have the
now.
time.
I have a question. If the snapping turtle stuck its head right into the bakery, is it not getting a huge face full of
I
smoke
don't
right
really
now?
care about
It
saving...
is, but it doesn't seem to mind. It was much more interested in basically it noticed the sound of the mice. It came over to look. The smoke is stinging its eyes. It said, "Fuck you, thing stinging me," and it just bit blindly forward.
You get rid of
Because
pests by removing
it's a
the
dinosaur. It's dumb as shit.
Get rid of pests by removing the food sources. We get the mice out of here, this turtle's just going to leave. And also, my belief is leave no mouse behind, not leave no building behind. I don't really care if this town gets smashed to pieces. I care if people die. So I want to find those two missing mice in the wharf still. And that was the plan. That was what I said I was going to do. So that's why I'm kind of sticking to the plan here. And certainly I'm
Plus, you
stubborn
kinda
and
need me
independent.
for
So
tunnels and digging.
I want to make my way towards the wharf and find another tunnel down to where the other side of that collapse.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go with him.
So that's what that team's doing. Tom and Derek. Derek, I really hope you have a plan. Tom, are you going to do anything about your Tenderpaw, who
I
is
have
your
12%
charge?
of a plan.
Well, he seems to have stopped paying attention to me, so I can sneak up closer.
You could.
Do I use scout for that, or do I use nature? Oh,
That's going to be a scout thing to be sneaky.
okay. Okay, this is going to be difficult.
Yeah, running at danger is not really turtle, or it's not really mouse behavior.
Right. But I can do it very quietly, and I'm not going to be sprinting, but I'm going to be getting closer.
Okay.
All right, I got one success.
The turtle remembers you.
Oh, no. Can the turtle smell anything over all that smoke, though?
No, it can't.
Can it see anything? Because you said that it's being blinded by the smoke. Like, it's seeing its eyes.
Let me describe.
Okay.
So it's been sort of smashing that corner of the bakery, and you come sort of darting out from sort of like cover, right? You get out of your hidey hole in that old house. You're looking for some other cover, sort of closer to it, and it doesn't like having its face in that smoky building very much. Biting it didn't seem to work, so it's going to do the other thing that turtles like to do, which is sort of like get away. So as it starts to sort of turn away from that, it doesn't see you, but it does basically stomp its way, basically so that its face is now right in front of you. And it's sort of blinking away blind and pawing, and like one of its big nasty hands like just grazed the top of your ears and smashed a place you were going to go hide in. And so, yeah, you're now looking at it as it's blinking the smoke out of its face.
Nice. Get yourself an
Sloan,
eye.
you're up on top of it. It's shifting around quite a bit. I'm thinking you're going to have a hard time staying up there.
I wasn't planning to be up there for long, because it's the top of its shell crests over the buildings, right?
Oh, by far. Like the middle of its shells over the buildings.
I'd like to try and jump onto the top of a building.
Rad. Roll me a health check.
Cool.
I'm going to say objective 3.
Made it.
Great. So
Made it
you
with 4.
gracefully leap off and onto the roof of an adjacent, more or less intact building.
Can I do something as I jump? Like a second action kind of thing?
What do you got in mind?
I have this circular shield on my back, and it's looking right at Tom. I can't hurt it, but I'd like to try to get its attention by just tossing the shield at it, Captain America style.
You know what? Sure. Let's do that.
What am I rolling?
You are going to be rolling.
That's what I'm
fight.
asking.
That is a roll of fight.
I don't have fight.
Well, then you're going to be rolling beginner's luck. The way that works is this is a physical thing, so you're going to be rolling your health plus any relevant bonus dice, then halved rounded down. Or
Okay.
you can roll your nature, but this is definitely not within the nature of mice. So if you fail, you're going to lose a lot of nature.
Yeah, well, this isn't really a mouse thing to do anyway, so I'll roll nature.
Okay.
Oh, that's oh dear.
How'd you do?
I have to ask because I might spend a fate point. Is 3 successes enough?
Definitely not.
I will spend a fate point to re-roll my 2 6s.
Okay. Subsequent 6s will explode. You're going to need
Oh,
them.
good. Because that explodes. So that's 4?
Yep.
5.
Well, I rolled 6.
Fuck.
And my favorite twist is to give people what they want, but it's terrible. So you hit it in the side of the face with your shield. And the snapping turtle snaps. And this time, it more or less hits. The building beneath you collapses as its head sort of darts out with a surprisingly long neck, collapsing the building down around you. So you are now trapped in rubble.
That's tough, but fair.
And the turtle...
Rubble is better than Ian.
Well, and the turtle is very upset. Whereas before, it was kind of just like loping or like kind of like lurching its body side to side and doing stuff. The morning has progressed. The sun's up. He's getting warm. He's just sort of, although that smoke was unpleasant, it was nice and warm. So now it sort of like hauls itself up off of its belly scutes a little bit and starts stomping in the direction of that crowd of mice that it can hear, starting to freak out and scream and run. Those of you who weren't in direct view of that see that a building that was some sort of like mouse bank just collapsed with Sloane atop of it, buried in the rubble. And then the turtle shakes its head and starts stomping towards the sound of screaming mice, snapping its jaws as
I love that no one actually saw the shield throw.
The turtle vaguely saw it.
Okay, new plan.
New plan from team Find the Other Guys?
Like, I guess, all right, those guys aren't exactly my priority now. He's moving towards the crowd. We need to piss it off and get it coming after us instead.
Yeah.
And we are on the other side of it, so it's moving away from us towards the crowd.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Crap. I just want bombs. I don't have any bombs on me.
Not a lot of explosives.
I just want to roll barrels of spirits towards it with like a fuse on it and blow it to pieces.
This game really runs counter to many expectations and reflexes that we've built up playing D&D.
Yeah, this is not D&D with ears and tails.
Yeah.
I have an orator skill that I could pull in here to just try and get its attention. Like, I'm thinking when the main character tries to just start with the flares to get the T-Rex's attention.
Well, I think at this point, since we're now all acting sort of centrally against this turtle, I think this is a good time for us to bust out the conflict rules.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-dun.
Yeah, one of the hallmarks of any Burning Wheel game, as it's slightly eccentric, but once you get the hang of it, really cool fight systems. In Mouse Guard, conflict is used for any sort of big direct action. Basically, one of you is going to sort of be the leader of what's going on. I like to describe that as that person is the fight choreographer in the movie scene. They're the one who decides sort of what happens. So amongst you, who do you guys think is going to call the shots for this fight? Doesn't have to be the lead mouse.
Well, I mean, Sloane is trapped in rubble.
You don't know how trapped.
We're good diggers. We'll get slown out.
25 seconds as Captain America.
We'll get slown out. We're all good diggers here.
Okay.
I was trapped in rubble at the beginning of this episode, so
Exactly.
Who would like to nominate? Noir, who are you thinking would like to be the fight choreographer?
How close is Tom?
I'm a little too close.
Well, he does seem to be the most experienced mouse.
All right.
Okay, so you being sort of the lead actor of this in terms of like making decisions, you're going to be the one who is going to be scripting out the actions, and you can sort of hand them out to whoever you like.
Okay.
This works a bit like rock, paper, scissors in that certain actions you can take are going to have better or worse effects against certain other actions. So you're going to choose 3, I'll choose 3, and then one at a time we're going to be sort of using them against each other. And then we will then describe that action happening simultaneously. Takes a bit of getting used to, but it's worth a shot. And if our Patreon subscribers wanted us to play Mouse Guard, you kind of got to try this. So let's give it a try. All right. Now, the easiest way to do this is for us to just sort of simultaneously put the move we want to use into the Discord chat we're using.
Okay, let me open Discord again.
Yeah.
Well, we also have a chat screen in Hangouts.
Hangouts also has a chat screen. Pick your chat screen. They're all good.
Well, I just reopened Discord anyway, so
You did the work. We might as well do it.
So
so what are the actions again?
You have attack, defend, feint, and maneuver.
It's all on the second page or back page.
Yeah, it's all on the second sheet of the characters sheet. Attack and defend do what they sound like. Feint is a tricky maneuver of some sort, and then maneuver is some way trying to get an advantage.
Okay.
And then there's a little chart that tells you what's good against what.
So maneuvering would be the move if I wanted to get the turtle's attention to come back towards us. That would be gaining a position. That's
definitely the sort of thing that would be a maneuver.
Yeah.
And then because this is a straight up fight, the skills that you use for it are down on a separate chart. Basically, you're fighting an animal, so it's going to be fighter or hunter to attack it, lore or a nature check to defend against it, fighter or hunter to feint at it, and then lore or nature to make a maneuver.
This is so...
It's very tricky.
Yeah, it is tricky. Okay.
But again, it is also kind of rock, paper, scissors, so if you go into it blind, you're okay. So your guys' goal for this conflict, what is it you're trying to accomplish as a team?
Well, at this point, we want to get this turtle away from the crowd by any means necessary.
And did you just want it away from the crowd, or do you want to just get it out of town?
I was going to say,
we want it out of town.
Lure the turtle out of town. We're not going to kill the turtle.
That's a solid goal for this conflict.
Yeah.
Okay.
The turtle's goal is to kill and eat as many mice as it can. That's what it's trying to do. It's done having a nap. It wants to murder.
Yeah, well, seeing as the brewery is pretty much already destroyed, then we can like this town is kind of in shambles already. So I mean, this is the point where we can start using fire as a viable option because
well, I mean, 2 important buildings are gone, plus like a few others. There's still more town, but you're right. Fire's more viable.
It's better to rebuild the town than to bury the town.
Fair enough. So we know what the turtle's goal is. We know what your goal is. Whoever beats the other side, they're going to achieve their goal. So now we're going to establish disposition. In this game, disposition is basically how sort of hard it's going to be to beat you in this particular conflict. It's kind of like your hit points. It's kind of like your positioning. And for a fight, our initial disposition is fighting an animal. You're going to roll either fighter or hunter, and you get to add to that as a flat sort of number of successes your health score or your nature score.
Okay? And is that Tom who's rolling?
So Tom, what are we looking at here?
Okay, I have 4 for fighter and 4 for nature and health.
Okay, so
I already used up my persona, so I can't add health to that. So I'm pretty much limited to 8 dice, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, well, no, you only need to roll. You only need to roll the 4 for fighter. You just get sort of 4 disposition points for.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So roll those dice. Tell me how many successes you have.
Okay. I have 2 successes.
Okay, so that means that you guys have a disposition of 6.
Okay.
That's sort of how much damage you need to take from this turtle for it to be able to get at its goal, which is non-stop mouse smorgasbord. The turtle rolled terribly for its disposition because the dice bot hates me. It has a disposition of 4. So in your various attacks, maneuvers, etc., you got to basically do 4 disposition damage to it to beat it. So
Okay.
with that in mind,
So it's determined,
now,
but it's not that determined.
exactly. It's not super sold.
We've
on
kind
this.
of fucked up its morning
Like,
enough already. It's starting
Yeah.
to wonder what the fuck the point was of getting up today.
Exactly. It hauled itself up on this nice sandy beach that smelled like delicious mice and thought it was going to have a really lovely sort of morning, get its nails did, feast on some rodents. But it's smoky and things are hitting it in the face. And if it can't get this meal, fuck it, it's out of here.
And it's pretty
So-
sure that building full of mice was an elaborate ruse.
So
it does think it was an elaborate ruse.
So
it's
setting- Go ahead.
It's just like ash and rocks.
So setting the scene here, we have Tom, who's Sloan, who's jumped off and trapped in a rubble of.
It's in a smashed up
building.
building.
Tom is somewhere where I don't exactly know.
I was almost stepped on.
Almost-
They're
okay.
standing basically right in front of it.
So Tom, Noir, and myself, Ocean, are all on street level, except Noir and I also have the 3 survivors. No, we've separated.
No,
They're with the crowd.
As soon as they had a chance to run, they fucking hoofed it.
They
They're
hoofed
gone.
it. So great. So Noir, myself, and Tom are on street level, looking up at this turtle now.
Yeah,
But are we
Sloane's on her
flanked?
back
It
looking at
is
stars.
Tom on the other side, or are we all on the same?
Sloane, basically, so I'm basically imagining that Noir and Ocean are basically like behind its sort of like back left leg. Sloane is somewhere off the right-hand side of it.
I'm assuming that Sloan is pretty much out of this fight now because you said it dropped a building on me.
It dropped a building on you, this is true. But, I mean, despite the fact you are just mice, like, if you guys have ever tried to get mice out of your house, it can be tricky.
So
You're not necessarily-
wait, can I act? I
course you
was
can.
just assuming that I was pretty much out of it till
No,
this was
I'm-
over.
You're my
I'm assuming that you're in a bad situation, but you could heroically save yourself and get out.
Yeah, you'll have a
You're
turn
not
like the rest of us
you're
to
just
scramble your way out.
Oh, okay.
I haven't even actually handed out a condition for you yet, technically. You're just your fictional positioning is dog shit, but other than that, you're actually kind of fine.
Okay, so now I have to play this weird rock paper scissors thing. Then
No. Tom decides decides on the rock, the paper, and the scissors, and then decides who's going to do it.
Okay.
Right? Tom sets the script, and then he gives you guys your parts. Think of the conflict system kind of like a wrestling match. In a wrestling match, you have certain moves that you're going to do, but how they play out is really up to the wrestlers doing them, right?
Yeah, Tom's
Okay.
a general giving out. The
That's kind
orders.
of how this works.
Okay.
So, Tom-
And so we're doing it 3 times, you said?
Yeah, you choose 3 things you want to do,
Okay.
right? 3 of the conflict actions you think your side should take.
Are they all simultaneous?
Nope, we're going to go one at a time because I'm choosing
Okay.
3 as well, and they both sort of trigger simultaneously.
Okay.
So, do you have your first one chosen?
Yes.
I do as well. So then, I've typed it out. Have you typed yours out?
Okay.
Hit an enter. We're both
Wow.
attacking. Great, we're aggressive. I like it. So, if we look at the chart, attack versus attack, you're just rolling your dice, and however many successes you get, that's how much disposition the other side takes.
Okay.
So, who do you want to do the attack?
Okay.
It could be you, it could be anybody else.
It's gonna be me.
Oh, I heft my axe. Okay, fine.
I gather random objects and herbs.
Now keep in mind, your instinct isn't necessarily something you're doing constantly.
No, but my
it is a
axe
hilarious
does get a
joke.
+1 success.
Okay.
So now, Tom, if you want to be the one doing the attack, that's fine.
Mhm.
You're going to be coming at this turtle in some way, trying to drive it off.
Okay. So
Everybody else, if they can think of a way to help you, they can help you and assist you with the dice. This
Okay,
one would be particularly hard for Sloan, but you might be able to think of a way.
Okay, so I'm.
There's a
how do I try to set this thing on fire?
There's a table here that says sample
There is-
weapons, where it breaks it down by attack, defend, feint, maneuver. That might be able to help, given that we have all different weapons to work with, right? And you.
Well,
even
yes,
mentioned-
but the person who's rolling, his weapon's the ones that we're looking at.
Oh, I see. All right.
Okay, so a bottle of brew isn't going to be enough to create like a fire. That's a little tiny mouse bottle.
No, not a big fire. Like again, it's like a mouse-sized Molotov cocktail.
Yeah, well, we're right by the Flaming Bakery and the brewery. I could maybe grab a keg and throw it into the fire and have it like explode or something.
Is there a fire at the bakery? I thought it was just smoldering smoke. It's just
No, the bakery's ovens are pretty chock full of slowly smoldering and burning stuff.
Okay.
They could light a fire. Okay, so you wanna sort of dart over to the bakery and then try and basically make an explosion that's gonna upset this thing.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds like a pretty solid attack action. And the way your fighter skill is helping you is that you have to get past it as it's snapping around blindly. Right, you're going to be fending it off with what's your weapon? You're going to be fending it off with your sword as you make your way there. Great.
Yeah, that's going to do much good. I think the fire is more of a weapon, right? Though.
Well, for sure, but again, as we described this,
yeah,
how the skill applies is sort of what's giving you the fictional currency to do this.
Okay.
I think I've got an idea how I could help out.
Nice. How are you going to help out, Noir?
Well, I could always run up with my, long spear and start jabbing at its joints. I mean,
Yeah.
the arms and legs are well armored, but
It
the
does have to
part
fold
just
somewhere.
inside the shell is pretty soft and squishy.
Okay, that seems pretty solid to me. So yeah, if you're going to run up and start poking it like the crazy mouse you are,
Plus, it
then
goes with
yeah.
my belief.
It does go with your belief. I think that would definitely give Tom an extra dice on that.
Okay.
Okay, now you are using a sword. And
Yes.
swords basically add a die to any action. So you get to add an extra dice on top of fight because you're using a sword for this.
Okay.
You've got a dice from Noir. You've got a dice from your sword. And I think that's kind of all you got.
I mean, this does feed into my belief, the many over the few.
Cool. You'll get a reward for that sort of again at end of session.
Okay. So how many dice am I rolling right now?
You're going to be rolling your fighter of 4
Okay,
plus 2 more. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's do this.
All
Do
right.
you have any traits that might help?
I
Yeah.
have Guard's Honor.
This is definitely like a I must defend sort of moment.
Yeah, I also have Stubborn. I'm not
This
sure
is
Stubborn.
not
really
terribly
fits,
stubborn.
Yeah, I guess Guard's Honor would apply.
Yeah, you feel duty bound to do this crazy thing. You'd much rather get eaten yourself than have the townsfolk get it.
So how does that work? I get an extra die?
You get to add one more die.
Okay, I already rolled. Do I just roll one more?
Just toss her on.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, how many successes you got?
I got 4 successes.
Amazing. Well, the turtle got 2 successes.
Okay.
So your disposition goes from a 6 down to a 4. My disposition was 4, so I am down to 0.
Wow.
You guys managed to... Okay, so you're going to convince this turtle that it needs to leave.
Yes.
You got this position to 0. You guys have won this battle
The first
right out
action.
of the gate, which is kind of amazing. Now that said, you're going to get dinged up in the process as well.
Yeah.
You guys are going to lose 2 disposition off your 6. What this means is that there's going to be a compromise. It's not a big one, but there's going to be something that gets lost along the way. some part of the turtle's goal is going to at least be partially achieved. So what do you guys think? What's a good compromise?
It did knock down a lot of buildings.
The destruction of the bakery it's going to be unrecoverable.
Okay, so
Bakery, bank, and the brewery, all the bees.
All the bees, which were strangely all around the market. The bees around the bazaar. Anyways, so maybe the bakery's just totally fucked?
My
Not the bees!
All right,
I think the brewery is in worse shape than the bakery. It got thrown like a pillow.
I think
there is no brewery to speak of anymore. It is flotsam and jetsam in the bay.
I think the bank may be in similar shape, given that it dropped it on me.
And the bank is in similar.
We did set the bakery on fire. So
yeah, I just got.
We're helping.
You're helping.
Hey, no one got eaten so far, so
it's going pretty good so far, to be honest. So yeah. Your plan's going to work. Please describe how the bakery gets destroyed, and this drives off the turtle.
Okay, so
he's snapping like mad at you guys.
I kind of feel like after we've driven the turtle off, it just swipes its tail out, and as it's stomping away, just completely knocks the bakery over with it.
Yeah, or even just before, because this is how it got to be driven away. And the bakery, he's snapping at Tom, and we've got Noir down with the spear, and it goes to the bakery or into the bakery again, and then whatever smoke was inside the building just comes out like a bomb. And it's in its mouth, it's in its eyes, whatever small scratches or wounds it's got are irritated now. And the turtle's just kind of like, nope, and I'm done. And on its way out, as Derek says, its tail, then whatever damage was left to the bird, it just swipes it like a sandcastle, and it's just gone. And the smoke goes up into the air like a mushroom cloud as the turtle just kind of makes its way back and lazily into the water slips in.
Yeah, I kind of like that. So like he's snapping at you, Tom, right?
Okay,
and then. You're heading to the bakery. Tell us what you do when you get there.
Okay, well, I grab a couple of kegs from the brewery and I just lug them in and I throw them right into the fire. The fire explodes out a little bit, goes like right in the turtle's face.
Nice. And Derek had earlier mentioned the sort of like whole fuel fire, right?
It was all this flour and leaves,
and there's all this flour that's getting kicked up into the air. Those kegs go off, and then there's a secondary flash from all that flour igniting, and that's where we get the big mushroom cloud. 90% of the bakery cloud just explodes everywhere.
Leveled.
You guys kind of get like knocked down onto your sort of mousy rumps.
Except for those of us who were already lying on our mousy rumps.
Except for those of you who are already lying on your mousy rumps. I think Noir, like your spear, sort of like finds some purchase, and it's had it. And so it kicks out its legs, sending you flying. And then, it's got a face full of fire. It's done. The turtle turns around and stomps back the way it came, into the water and away.
Okay.
Hi.
All right. So now that the turtle's gone,
I'm gonna go dig out Sloan.
Yeah, dig out Sloan. We've got to do whatever we can to put the fire out, and we've got to find the two still missing.
I mean, at this point,
mice.
we can bring in the crowd of the mice. This is their town. They can help with the fire.
Crowd. And actually, we're coming up on the hour.
Yeah.
At this point, I think we can wrap it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the townsfolk rush in. They're appalled at the damage.
But they're all alive.
But they're all alive. And although times are going to be hard coming up, sort of rebuilding and resupplying, they've got their lives, and they don't blame you.
Okay, who has the highest orator?
Well, here's the thing.
rating?
I've got orator, but I'm also a carpenter. So when it comes to some like makeshift repairs that can be done and helping to get people like, yes, the bakery's been lost, but so's his home. We can hopefully put together something out of the destruction so that he at least has some shelter. So I'm willing to stick around after this episode and maybe do a little time lapse where we stay in Grasslake and help repair some of the damage.
I have 2 points in stonemason.
Yeah, and I'm a carpenter.
I'm a smith and a glazier, so...
Yeah, so we've got the trade skills here to help with the repair.
Absolutely. And that's definitely the sort of thing that the Mouse Guard have those trades on purpose for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to give like a quick speech to tell everyone... it's like the turtle's gone. Our work here isn't done. We need to get to work rescuing the people who are still missing and rebuild this town.
Yeah, do we find the other two?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna spend some time looking for them.
Yeah, now that the danger's gone, we can take our time looking for them and make sure that they're safe.
Yeah. Yeah, you do manage to find them. One of them was, like, pretty stuck. Like, he was under a bunch of stones. He was not going to get out of there easy. His legs are just wrecked. But he's now alive. His other buddy was sort of just trapped with him, more or less unharmed.
Okay.
So
all right.
Nobody died. So
if somebody wants to cap it off with a rad speech to the townsfolk, please do.
You're welcome.
Another fine service.
Jeff
you by the
Goldblum.
And now I wonder what turtle tastes like.
Yeah.
It's kind of meh.
I roll 1 success for my order. Welcome.
Great. So please give me a shaky sort of concluding speech.
Oh gosh. So yeah, I mean, Ocean standing up on the rubble of the bakery.
Don't brag.
as the smoke is still clearing, where Sloane's covered in dirt and rubble, and we've come here and saved this town, and I mean, I heft my axe, and
Nice.
and I give the in this speech, I want to rouse up that that times will be tough. We're gonna help with the repair, but we're all alive, and these were just they were buildings can be destroyed, but lives can't be brought back, and this town is going to rebuild, and the guard will help, and you're welcome.
No.
And you can see, like, the mice who are listening are sort of all kind of in shock and a little stunned and surveying the damage, and they're sort of just, like, nodding along quietly, and there's, like, a weak, like, thank you, like, clapping, a weak round of applause. They're mostly just surveying the devastation.
Okay, they're traumatized. Like,
Yeah. We're not here
we're not
for accolades.
expecting a parade here.
We don't even need
a
the speech isn't
It
even
did about as
necessary.
good as you'd expect.
It's like it's time to sort of like let's get into Operation FEMA here and start like getting people into homes and getting the place going up so they'll be okay for the night, and then figure out where they're going to get their
my
bread.
shield at some point.
Oh yeah, no problem. Great. So I think at that point, I think we can wrap her up. We've just passed the hour.
Yeah. No, this was an interesting introduction to. I'm glad we did get to do the conflict description.
As am I. It's a very interesting system. The thing that I've found so far with Burning Wheel family games is that you need a much higher level of player sort of like enthusiasm for the specific system than you do with a lot of other RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they do use a lot of things so differently. I'm just a super fan. I love these games, but they're weird.
Well, between now and when we come back to record episode 3, I plan to read the rule book.
Now, after getting a taste of the system, it's really not all that complicated.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
There's a lot
really.
of moving parts, but none of them are complicated.
There's a lot of stuff in the character creation that helps for prompting if you're new to role-playing as well, where it's like, I don't know what my motivation is. Well, actually you do, because you've written down your beliefs, your goals, your instincts, that all help you sort of, I don't know what to do in this scene. This will help kind of, okay, I'm going to be more aggressive, or I'm going to be more defensive. So it was this was a lot of fun. Thank you very much, Will. I know this was a very last second to come together and record these hours, and we'll have it'll be interesting actually. The tone of our next episode for you, the listener, will come out in like 2 weeks from now. But for us, it's going to be over a month between these recordings, so the tone might shift a bit. I'm really glad that we're at a point where we can even do a time lapse or a time shift or a time jump in the narrative, because it is, I think, tonally going to sound much different when we record the next 2 episodes. But for the Mouse Guard storyline, I don't know, Turtle Beach? Is that what we're calling this campaign?
Turtle Beach, or the actual sort of suggested name is Trouble in Grasslake.
I was going to say, or Turtle Soup.
Turtle's better, yeah.
Yeah. So a little turtle shell bread destruction in the game. I've been one of the players here, members of the Mouse Guard, Justin Ecock, and around my table, my fellow Mouse Guards from Edmonton. We have
Derek the Bard from Chasing the Muse,
and out in Brampton,
Tom, he is an evil genius white from Weird Video Games.
and joining us from Patreon.
Noir.
And thank you for your support, Noir. I hope we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, hope you had a good time, man.
And running this game, our game master himself, running through Mouse Guard.
Will Mitchell.
And we'll see you next time for this campaign is not over. We're only halfway through. We've got a reputation, I guess. We're going to scare off the monsters and destroy your town in the process. The Mouse Guard. You can trust us.
We're professionals.
We are turtling up.
We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.